Time. Call this meeting to order. May we have roll call, please?
Mayor Hardin.
Present.
Vice Mayor Martinez.
Here.
Commissioner Lindebroeker.
Present.
Commissioner Segrist.
Present.
Commissioner Warren.
Here.
We have a quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. When we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May we have the invocation, please? Good evening.
Our Holy Father in heaven, we enter into your presence with thanksgiving and into your courts with praise. We come to acknowledge that you are God and that all blessings come from you. All praise and glory be unto you from henceforth and forevermore. I'm so glad that in civil groups like this, we still have the freedom to begin first by recognizing you are God, and beside you there is no other. The fact is, we need your guidance with the issues at hand. We are but dust, the work of your hands, so we seek the wisdom of the Master Creator, full of wisdom to guide and direct the work of those gathered here. There are so many branches, areas that are important to our community for sanitation, law enforcement, safety, even recreation, to name a few. May your hand rest upon each of these today. Let your spirit guide in every decision they make for the betterment and well-being of our citizens. And Lord, as a request, we are in serious need of rain. We are not deserving of your blessings, but your word has said that you cause the rain to fall on both the just and the unjust without discrimination, because you are a good God who cares about the creatures you have made. So we look forward to the moisture you will send on our dry land, and we give you the praise for all your wonderful works. We offer this prayer and this request not based on our own goodness, but based on the goodness of Jesus the Christ, in whose name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Tonight, I have the pleasure of announcing our Employee Service Awards. So I would ask for the city staff that, as your name is called, please come up and I can present the award to you. Starting off with a 20-year service award, we have Macario Arredondo.
He is on vacation. So.
Fantastic. And another 20-year service award, James Kulo. James, it's an honor to present this for you. Thank you so much for your dedicated years of service.
Thank you. Thank you, Jack.
Picture. Clap. Finish the clap. On the clap.
Thank you. For a 25-year service award, we have Michael Morris. And another 25-year service award, we have Jesus Cardenas.
Better known as Chewy.
Better known as Chewy.
That's who we know.
Chewy, thank you so much for everything you do for our community. Absolutely.
I got it.
Perfect. Now for a 30-year contribution award, we have Chief Kelly Kirk. Yes, sir. Chief, you've done nothing but impress me the entire time I've been here. Thanks so much for everything. And for another 30-year contribution award, we have Sandra Armstrong.
Her and the next one is sort of sick.
Okay, no problem at all. And another 35-year contribution award, Pamela Johnson. Can we all please have a round of applause for all these years of dedicated service?
And then, you got a minute? We're not done yet. You want to come around? The staff wanted, we've got 3 commissioners going out. The staff wanted to give you something to at least let you know we appreciated your service.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Thank you.
And if you wanna open that big box and show everybody. Mr. Taylor, we appreciate you
Thank you so much.
on behalf of the city and your staff.
I never got to flog anybody to death with this gavel. Maybe I'll be able to turn the tide with this one. Thank you guys so
We figured
much.
you'd wanna hit to close the meeting with.
I think I will.
And Tony, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, this is nice.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you guys so much. That means the world to me.
It is great. Thank you.
And all the artwork and the inscription, you can thank Alicia. She's the one that keeps track of all the numbers and stuff.
That is awesome.
Good job, Alicia.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Loved
Two of
it.
you gotta wait till next time that you're going on.
I got 3 at home.
All right. Moving on to the approval of the agenda, we do have some amendments to tonight's agenda. We added in items 7 and 8 under the consent agenda for hutches. And then also item number 11, which is a 10-minute executive session towards the end of the meeting. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second?
We have a motion by Commissioner Lindenbroker with a second by Commissioner Segrist to approve the agenda as amended. Is there any more discussion on the topic? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Moving on to the approval of the December 14th, 2021 regular meeting minutes.
I move we approve the December 14th, 2021 regular meeting minutes.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Segrist with a second by Commissioner Warren to approve the December 14th, 2021 regular meeting minutes. Is there any more discussion on the topic? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Now moving on to the approval of the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Second?
We have a motion by Commissioner Lindenbroker with a second by Commissioner Segrist to approve the consent agenda as amended. Is there any more discussion on the topic? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Moving on to agenda item number 5, we have Hay Rice and Associates with item number A being a 2020 audit review. Good evening, Dustin. Thanks for joining us.
Commissioners, I believe in your package you all should have received a copy of the audit report. I'll keep this brief, but just to give you a little synopsis of the report that you have in front of you. In the front of the binder, we have our auditor's report. We have our report on the single audit, which is the federal funds that are received by the city. And then we also have a management's discussion and analysis. That kind of goes through the highlights of what's in the report, so that it kind of gives you a guide as to the major changes in the current financial situation of the city as it is at the end of the year. Probably the two most prominent financials that will benefit you, if you go to page 1, pages 1 and 2 is what we call the statement of net position. That shows basically all the assets of the city and all the liabilities of the city. And the net of those two is the net condition of the city. So that kind of gives you a good snapshot as to where the city is as of the end of the year. In addition to that, on statement 2, which is on pages 3 and 4, this is a full accrual basis income statement on the activities of the city. We do that by function. And what that means to you is that we break down all the revenue and expenses by function. So we would have an item for the police, we have an item for fire, we have one for the golf course. And that basically shows you the revenues that are specifically generated for each of those activities and the expenses that are incurred by those activities. So that gives you a true picture as to what each type of function that the city has, what that's costing the taxpayer. At the bottom of that statement are your general revenues like property taxes, sales tax that aren't specific to one function, but kind of balance the activities out. That's the funding mechanism that the city has. The other statements basically go into greater detail of the specifics. The statements towards the back of the book are on what we call a budgetary basis. Budgetary basis in the state of Kansas is basically cash basis, and that kind of shows the spending in reference to the budget that you guys pass each year. That's kind of a brief synopsis of the financials that the city has presented today. If you have any questions, I'd be open to answering any of those. I mean, if not, I think most of you know where I'm at. If something comes up, new commissioners coming on, if you have any questions in regards to the financial statements, feel free to contact us.
Perfect, Commissioners. If you don't have anything for Dustin, we'll move on to item B, which is the 2021 Audit Contract.
Do we need to take any action on the, or just?
We typically approve the audit.
Typically, the commission
I
approves
think we
the audit.
approve the audit.
Okay, by vote.
The commissioners approve the audit, yes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 2020 audit review.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Warren with a second by Vice Mayor Martinez to approve the 2020 audit review. Is there any more discussion on the topic? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. All right, now for the 2021 audit contract. We'll be looking for approval of the 2021 audit contract to continue forward with Hay Rice and Associates to be conducting the city's audit reviews.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 2021 audit contract.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Warren with a second by Vice Mayor Martinez to approve the 2021 audit contract with Hay Rice and Associates. Do we have any more discussion on the topic? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you guys so much for everything you do.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda item number 6, we have the 2020 budget amendment. We're going to open this up with a public hearing. The next item on the agenda is a public hearing for ordinance number 4576, amending the 2021 fiscal year budget. I now declare the public hearing officially open. The legal notice was published on December 16th, 2021. I now invite staff to testify on the matter before the commission. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. You have before you for the 2021 proposed budget amendments. I've prepared ordinance number 4576, which overall the city is generally good on its budget, but there are 3 areas that need some attention that we staff would propose that we amend prior to the end of the year. These 3 funds, the first one is debt service. If you'll recall, we had a general obligation bond late in 2020 after the 2021 budget was adopted. We do have sufficient funds to make the payments, but we do need to amend that fund to account for those payments. And that amount, that would increase by $100,000 to $718,000. The second one is the special fire fund. We had a 2021 adopted budget of $50,000, and staff would propose to increase that by $10,000 to $60,000. We had some expenses in there. I think that we made a purchase, and this would enable us to stay in compliance with budget. And then the third proposed amendment is in the wastewater utility fund. Staff is proposing to increase it by $200,000 to $5,668,000. Basically, that expense came from the, I guess, some leftover lagoon treatment expenses that we had to treat things, and chemical costs were higher, so this would keep that fund in compliance. So what I've done, I've prepared ordinance number 4576 for your consideration to amend these three funds. And then there is also the detailed budget information, including an amended certificate, which, should the commission choose to adopt the budget, I would ask that each commissioner sign each of the, I think we have 3 copies of that, so I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Commissioners and city staff, if any of you guys have any questions to direct towards Chris, now would be the time. I now invite anyone from the public to testify on the matter. If you choose to testify, please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record. Are there any questions from the commission, staff, or public directed towards the commission on this matter? Being no further comments, I declare the public hearing officially closed. Commission, I would now entertain a motion on the matter.
Make a motion we approve ordinance number 4576, amending the 2021 financial year budget.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Lindenbroker with a second by Commissioner Warren to approve ordinance number 4576, amending the 2021 fiscal year budget of the City of Liberal for the Debt Service Fund, the Special Fire Fund, and the Wastewater Utility Fund. Is there any more discussion on the topic? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Moving on to agenda item number 7, we have the fiscal year 2021 transfers. Hello again, Chris.
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Commissioners, you have before you tonight some proposed transfers that staff would request. Some of these, they were guesstimates of how much we might need, but basically what these would establish is maximum amounts that staff would transfer if approved by the commission. But with that being said, if we're able to transfer less, we certainly will do so on these items. And I'd be happy to answer any questions. I know there's a couple pages of them, so. But I would state that we do have sufficient budget authority, and several of these were budgeted within the 2021 budget.
Did you say some?
Several, some.
Several, most?
Most.
Most,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, it was like 80% of them were ones that we planned for in the budget.
Yeah.
And then there are a few just to clean up some project balances of previous projects and so on.
I'll make a motion that we approve the fiscal year 2021 transfers.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Warren with a second by Vice Mayor Martinez to approve the fiscal year 2021 transfers. Do we have any more discussion on the topic? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Moving on to agenda item number 8, we have the reclassification of delinquent accounts receivable and utility accounts.
Okay, Commissioners, this item deals with reclassification of our delinquent accounts receivable and utility billing accounts that are in excess of 120 days past due. I will say that on the accounts receivable accounts, most of those are generated from mowing charges or demolition charges of that sort. We do, in August, we do assess any amounts that we're able to assess, so long as that owner was the one that incurred the charge. But what we run into a lot of times is with property selling, you know, you can't ask the next owner to pay for what the previous owner caused. So, however, you know, we do keep track of these, just as we do on our utility billing amounts. For the utility billing, we turn those over to the state set-off program. where essentially we've tried to collect from people and they've moved on. So if they show up somewhere else in the state and the state set-off program has them on the list, they'll notify them that, hey, you owe the city X amount of dollars and we're gonna withhold it as soon as you get some funds to do so after they collect their money. But, on those, on utilities, we had a total sales in 2021 of $11,724,276.38. The amount of delinquent utilities amounted to $49,484.17. So our delinquent write-off percentage for this amount is 0.4221%. So that's less than 1/2 of 1%, which I think is, we wish it was zero, but in light of everything, 0.5%'s not, less than 0.5%'s not bad. So, and definitely on utility billing, if we do keep track of those amounts, and we've had people in the past that are surprised when they move back to town or they move out of a property where the owner had previously paid for utilities or so on into an account with their own name. We say, oh, by the way, you're still on our list, so we'll be happy to connect you for the connection fee plus what you owed us from before. And so we do keep track of those as well. So I would be happy to answer any questions on those. And by the way, that total is $80,659.34, comprised of delinquent utilities and accounts receivable of just over $31,000.
Accounts receivable, they're on what? Different things?
Well, those are everything from mowing charges
Okay, yeah.
to demolition to.
Just not these utility billing, there are all kinds of other items in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything basically besides utilities.
And those are eligible for the state set-off program too, or they're not? Just the utilities?
Well, not. We haven't done it in the past. I think
Yeah.
those are harder to
Yeah,
track.
I'd say.
A lot of times for utility billing, the account information that we require enables us enough information to submit to the state. But, on accounts receivable, we don't, it's set up differently and we don't quite collect that same information, so.
And I remember we do this basically every year. I don't know how long they've done the set-off program. It's not real old, is it?
Well, I can say it's been in existence at least for 20 years.
For 20, okay, I guess.
That
it
I've
is.
seen,
So
and I
you
believe
would-
it was here before I came, so.
Okay, you wouldn't happen to know what the number that we would have got back, do you get it annually or just each time they find somebody, they send you a little check?
It's each time they find
So
somebody.
not
and
very much?
So it could be from 5 years ago, or it could be
Okay.
from
All right.
a month ago. They don't really,
I guess my question is, do you track that, what we recover from any of that per year?
I can certainly check into that.
Okay.
I don't
Not a
believe that
big
we
deal,
do, but.
maybe sometime if you're not doing
Sure.
anything. I just wondered what percentage of that, we don't get a lot of it back though, do we?
Give or take,
Yeah.
sometimes we do, and.
Well, if you're
and-
curious to find out, go look and then let me know.
Yeah. Well, and we've actually found with the state set-off program, if we've submitted somebody with a delinquency for $100
Yeah.
and they happen to move back to town and we collect the money ourselves, we notify the state, but they still want their cut because they helped us to locate
Oh,
that
yeah.
person.
What do they get for dumping?
I believe it's 5% or something like of that sort, but it is a percentage-based fee that they charge.
I'll make a motion that we allow the city to reclassify the delinquent accounts receivable and utility accounts.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Warren with a second by Vice Mayor Martinez to approve the reclassification of delinquent accounts receivable and utility accounts over 120 days past due in the amount of $80,659.34. Is there any more discussion on the topic? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Moving on to agenda item number 9, we have opioid settlement with item A being resolution number 2371, approving agreement.
Okay, I thought Karen was gonna be
Thank you very much,
here,
Chris.
And
due to illness, she's not, so I just discovered that I probably gonna have to get some help from my buddy right next to me. But basically, I'm sure everybody's heard about the nationwide opiate settlement. And what we were trying to do is we've got this resolution and an MOU so that maybe we can get a piece of the pie. Can you explain it a little better there?
That's a true statement. Kansas is one of, I think, 37 states that opted into the nationwide litigation against Johnson & Johnson due to opioid abuse and lack of labeling precautions to get it out there that you can get addicted to it and the problems with it. So what has happened is, since Kansas went in with it, the class action lawsuit, it's intended to be settled. It's going to equate to, I want to say, it's $4.89 per capita if everybody in the whole state of Kansas opts into it. Every county, every city opts into it. That's what the dollar was given to me from an individual in the AG's office, Attorney General's office. And what this allows us to do, one, is allows us to opt into it. They actually extended the deadline. It was January 3rd. I got an email today that said they're extending, I think, until January the 30th for people to get into it. We opt into it. It puts our name in the hat. The money actually is sent to the Attorney General's office for the state of Kansas. The Attorney General's office then divvies it up to entities to spend. It's supposed to be used for any type of opioid costs associated with of opioids. So we could use it for law enforcement, for their Narcans. You could use it for reimbursement of expenses for man hours responding to ODs, things like that. I don't think we're gonna have any issue once we get into it finding costs that'll actually qualify to get reimbursement back to the city for it. And again, it's kind of all in the preliminary works of it. As far as how much money we're gonna get, we really don't know. But we know we're not gonna get anything unless we opt in, unless we're gonna individually sue the pharmaceutical company, which we're not going to do. So this allows, the resolution allows us to start that process. The memorandum of understanding is basically allowing us to work with the Attorney General's office, so the Attorney General's office then gets the money, divvies it out to us. There's a reporting requirement we have to do. When we get to the point where we actually get the money and we want reimbursement, we have to pass a resolution which states the amount of money we're going to reimburse and has some kind of an allocation for it. And speaking again with the Attorney General's office person in charge of it, they said, we're going to be pretty lenient on that, but it's got to kind of tie back into it to a certain extent. So this is actually not like PIP money or PPP money. It's actually free money because it came from the pharmaceutical company. Granted, they'll probably just raise their rates, so it won't be free. But it's something we definitely should get on board and do. I think it was August of 2022 is when July or August of 2022 is when they thought they would get the first batch of money in and then send out to all of the governmental entities.
Is the county, do they do their own too then?
They do.
And so is there, you said per capita, so inside the city, would theirs be the same? Do they get to count us again, or do they take that out, or is that a good question or not?
That's a great question, and it's a question I asked, and they said they weren't sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna, again, assuming does, you know what it does, but I'm gonna assume it's gonna
Well, then you'd be double dipping kinda, right?
Yeah.
But basically you're talking about $100,000, right?
If it's 489 and
Yeah.
everybody takes it, and
Yeah.
it could be more than that if only
Yeah,
half.
I mean, that's about the minimum of $100,000, so yeah.
Yeah, but it's population based, so you gotta figure, the bigger cities, bigger entities are all going to do it, maybe some of the smaller ones don't. So I don't think that number is going to increase very much at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
And we would actually need two motions. I guess you just called the first item. The resolution would be the first one, and then the memorandum would be the second one, and that gives staff the authority to sign off on other documents which are in the packet.
I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2371, approving the agreement.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Warren with a second by Vice Mayor Martinez to adopt resolution number 2371. Is there any more discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0.
And I'll make a motion that we, do I need to say who allows somebody to sign the memorandum
No,
of
then
understanding?
just say
or
approve the
agree to
memorandum of-
memorandum of understanding?
As presented, yep.
As presented?
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Warren with a second by Commissioner Lindenbroker to approve the Memorandum of Understanding. Is there any more discussion on the topic? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Moving on to agenda item number 10, we have the City Manager Contract Addendum.
Well, I guess I'll speak some more. At the request, I did prepare the addendum as is presented in your packet. Basically allows Mr. Burke to purchase out his current vehicle and sets a value on that vehicle. It does not increase his salary currently. It still stays the same. It does not increase a severance package. It's very clear and explains, basically allows him to use any amassed vacation time to apply to pay for the vehicle. I checked with Mr. Ford, it's been a week or two ago, but Mr. Burke had over 300 hours. He had almost, I think, just shy of 400 hours, 398, I believe. So technically, he could use that and apply it. The rate of $64.9038 was a rate that was established from finances that Mr. Ford provided. And I just divided that by the hours that we had amassed, which was 300 when he gave that to me. It came out to that amount per hour. Again, it would allow Mr. Burke to apply his vacation hours for the purchase of the vehicle. The interesting note is this has a deadline on it. Basically, if this is agreed to by the parties, Kyle would have until the 30th of January at 5:30 to make this happen. And he could pretty easily do that just by signing it and saying, Bruce, I want my hours to apply to this. I want them deducted. Bruce can take a note of it and put it in the file, have Kyle sign off on it. It's in the file. Then upon Kyle's leaving of the city, whenever that occurs, he would just be reduced by the number of hours he decides to apply to this. I think it's pretty clear. The original contract is also attached and it's in the packet, so the public has it as well, so everybody can see what the intention is here, and what it actually will do. So, is there any questions anybody has on it?
I do have one request on the decals. I would like to be able to leave the sports tourney logo on the back window. The original number was Ronnie's number, and he can tell you himself that it does work because he got calls from people he didn't even know. Nick has gotten several calls, and it's a program. I want to see the youth get more involved, and probably for at least another 4 years I will be chasing ball tournaments because my grandson's an 8th grader and I've got one a freshman in college, so I'll be going to sporting events and promote liberal. But that's my request.
And that would just be something that we need a consensus on. I have no problem with that. I mean, my understanding of logos is that anybody can put City of Liberal stickers on their vehicles as long as it's not the official City of Liberal logo that we use on all of our fleet vehicles here. So I don't believe there's anything prohibiting you from doing it, but you definitely have the green light from me.
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
No problem.
That's fine.
Free advertising.
Absolutely.
And what I would say in that regard is whoever makes the motion to approve the addendum, that we, with the addition of the language that allows him to keep the baseball logo, baseball information on the back of the vehicle. And
Yeah,
then,
actually, I think it's sports tournaments, right?
okay.
Yeah, and by approving this contract addendum, then it's basically on his table whether he wants to act on it or not.
Right. I mean, it's only going to be effective. You guys agree to it. It's only going to then be in writing if he signs off on it, and then if he doesn't do anything before
Bless you.
the 31st, then it's null and void.
Is that January or December?
What did I say?
January 30th?
You said January.
Well, I think that should be December.
Did you bring your checkbook?
No, I got a credit card.
I have it written as the 30th of January.
So we need to make a motion to
is-
change that to December 30th? Or December 31st?
I don't think originally a date was discussed.
No, and I think, leaving it the way that the contract is it states the 30th of January, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. at least gives you time to be able
Well,
to get everything settled up.
But it's the wrong year. So it needs to either say
Good point, Lynn.
Anything
It's
to
gonna
say
be
just-
modified either way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything, well, that's my
2022.
fault. Anything to say January 30th, 2022 or December 30th of 2022? Which does everybody prefer?
Probably the 2022, so yeah.
I would still say
30 is
January
pretty quick.
30th. Yeah, that way there's a time window cushion there for him to get everything done.
Okay. So we'll make 2 changes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the city manager contract addendum with the change of January 30th, 2022 instead of January 30th, 2021, and allow the city manager to leave any decals, city decals that are on the vehicle.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Warren with a second by Commissioner Segrist to approve the addendum to the city manager's contract with the modification of the date being changed to January 30th, 2022, and to allow Calvin to be able to retain the decal on his vehicle. Is there any more discussion on the topic? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Yes, sir. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 11, we have the call for an executive session.
Moved to go into executive session for 10 minutes to discuss non-elected personnel pursuant to KSA 75-4319B1, which is the personal matters of non-elected personnel, exception under the Kansas Open Meetings, and includes City Attorney Kane and City Manager Cal Burke. Do we need to include anybody else in that?
It would be Finance Ford and
Include
And
Finance
HR
Director
Director
Chris
Bruce.
Ford and who?
HR Director.
HR Director. Oh, Bruce,
Yeah.
okay. And go into executive session at 6:10 and come out at 6:20.
Second, we have a motion by Commissioner Warren with a second by Mayor Harden to move into a 10-minute executive session and to include City Attorney Kane, City Financial Director Chris Ford, City HR Director Bruce, and when was the last one?
Whittington.
Whittington?
Bruce
Oh, Bruce Whittington. And then who was the fourth personnel? Or was it just the 3?
No, Chris Ford.
Myself?
Got him first. Oh, Len Kane.
Thanks.
Believe. With all of the included parties mentioned therefore. Do we have any discussion on the topic? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. We will be back at 6:20.
And I actually went back and counted. We
this motion, do we?
Nope.
Do I need to read it all again? We're gonna extend were you gonna ask for?
Was there any action taken as a result of the last executive session?
Yeah, I didn't want to
Nope.
interrupt you.
Yep. No, you're perfectly fine. Maybe you have a motion to extend the current executive session.
I move that we extend the current executive session for 5 more minutes?
Let's do 10.
Let's do 10 minutes. Going in at 6:23, coming out at 6:33.
A second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Warren with a second by Commissioner Segrist to extend the current executive session by an additional 10 minutes, going into session at 6:23 and coming back out at 6:33. Is there any more discussion on the topic? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. We'll be back at 6:33.
reading glasses on the line.
Oh, well, you did that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, everybody down ready to go, but you know, I'll let you take that.
Practice your writing, all right? I'll let you do it anyway.
Commissioners, did we have any action as a result of that executive session?
None.
Wonderful. Moving on to agenda item number 12, we have comments from city staff. Thank you.
It'll be short and sweet.
Hey.
Thank you.
Mayor, Commissioners, I'm just gonna give you a quick update. That's a playground that was installed at the 8th Street Soccer Complex. And if you look north from 8th Street, you can see it. That's the one that the school gave us from Lincoln Elementary School. It's been installed at the 8th Street Complex.
I seen that the other day when I went by, that you guys are out there.
It looks really nice.
That's awesome.
Update on our community building at the old rec center in Bluebonnet Park. It will be open for the first weekend in January, available for rent. We should finish it up at the end of this week. We don't rent on New Year's Eve weekend. So if any of you guys or the new commissioners want to come by and take a look at it, we're there working all day. Come by. It's a really nice building that's been totally redone. So if you get a chance, go by there. The parks guys, the building maintenance guys, all the guys have been doing, everybody had a little hand in making this thing possible. And you guys did too by approving the funds for it. So,
Awesome.
just a little update for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brad. Do we have any other city staff that would like to share with us this evening? Moving on to the city manager's report.
Well, it's been a pleasure working with you guys, and I'm gonna miss you. But hey, another year in the books. And Chris is still alive after he told Jose how much money he was taking out of the water fund again this year. But hey, it is what it is. And I know that my contractors have been enjoying the dryness, but I've been told that we really need to wish for some rain, so let's hope we get some instead of 6 feet of snow, because Chewy doesn't want snow. And that's about all I have.
Thank you very much, Cal. Moving on to agenda item 14, we'll now open the floor to items from citizens. If any citizens would like to share with the commission and city, please approach the podium at this time and state your name and address for the record, and try to keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening. How are you all?
Doing great.
Happy New Year in the next week.
Thank you
To
very
all
much.
of
You as well.
We are making plans for our Black History celebrations for February, and I realize that's February and this is still December, but I had to ask in advance. I submitted a letter to the city manager and asked permission for the Black History Committee to plan for the February 22 calendar events, and we would like to start our celebration with a parade. And you do have a copy of the route that was given to you during your session. And this parade is it's gonna start at the chamber office, and then it'll go around that 2nd Street to Kansas Avenue, and from Kansas Avenue down to 11th Street. And then this is gonna be just for the northeast part of Liberal. Sorry, you guys drive over there and watch us. You can be in our parade if you like. Bring your pretty cars, okay? And then we were going to go down 11th Street to Calvert, from 11th on Calvert, over to 5th Street. I changed something, it's 5th Street. And then from 5th, and we're just gonna go back and forth in that neighborhood and have a parade, if you all give us permission to do so.
And it'll be all cars, no floats, no horses.
We may beg the fire department to join us, and you
Okay.
guys if you like, but I don't think it's gonna be any much more than that.
Okay, have you talked to Chief Cutshaw about, would he give you a lead vehicle?
We have.
Kelly?
We have spoken to.
Oh, okay, what did he say?
You're
Okay.
good to go.
Okay. Okay.
And Chris, by the way, your name is Chris Hammond,
Oh,
correct?
I'm so sorry.
No problem at all.
I just forgot.
Is that correct, Chris
My name
Hammond?
is Christine Hammond,
Christine.
Hammond, and my address is 105 East 9th Street in Liberal, Kansas.
Thank you very much. Chris, I think that's fantastic. You guys have done an excellent job on getting the organization for these events flawless to present to the city, which is mainly just for public safety purposes of us knowing the routes, having law enforcement presence there to be able to make sure that we can help you guys out with traffic and directing everything.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
yeah, I think this looks terrific. Commission, if we want to just give her a consensus that the commission and the city support the Black History Month parade that they've organized. Seems like they already have everything set in place to be able to host the event. So at this time, all commissions that is in favor of allowing the Black History Committee to be able to host their parade in February, please have a show of hands. It's unanimous, Chris?
Thank you. I appreciate all of you coming and joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Have a great night. Are there any more citizens that would like to share with us? Good evening, Jeanette.
Good evening. Jeanette Vasquez, 118 South Kane. So I won't take up too much time or give a long speech, but I really just wanted to come up here to say thank you to Connie. Thank you to you as well, Taylor. And of course, sorry, Tony. I just want to thank you guys for all your numerous hours and dedication to our community. I know it's not easy, and I know you guys have spent a lot of time away from your family serving our community. And so I really just wanted to come up here and just say thank you for serving our community.
Thank you so much, Jan. Appreciate it.
Of course, when I go up there.
Every time. Just wait till you're on this side of the table. It'll happen every time you go to speak. Do we have any more citizens that would like to share with us tonight? Any groups? No items from groups. We'll move on to items from commissioners, and tonight we'll restructure this a little differently since there's three of us that will be giving our last comments as commissioners. So we will start tonight with Commissioner Lindenbroker, followed by Commissioner Warren, and then move to the end of the table with Commissioner Segrist, Vice Mayor Martinez, and myself.
Well, I'd just like to say it's been an honor to work with you people that are leaving, especially Connie and Tony and even Taylor.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Hopefully we get some moisture here coming up. So I know your speech is going to be long, so we'll just move on.
Gonna need it to lubricate the cords.
I need to hurry then, huh? Well, again, the same thing. I've been honored to work with you guys. I guess this is the fifth commission I work with, but there's been really little change between the fourth commission and the fifth commission, I guess, as far as the ones that I've served on. There'll be, so I'm guessing the next one will be the sixth, won't it? So different commission I've worked with, but I definitely enjoyed working with you guys. I am a little bit envious of you guys' plaques, because I wasn't kidding when I said I had 3 at home. But you guys are really nice. I don't know if you had anything to do with the other ones, Alicia, but the other ones are nice. But these are really nice plaques, so I'm envious. But I really do appreciate the opportunity to have got to work with you guys, and really going to miss you, and excited for the future at the same time. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Ron. Commissioner Segrist.
Okay, well, I have truly enjoyed being a commissioner. I say I learn something new every day, more than just one thing probably. I learn a lot of things new every day, it seems like. Lots of phone calls. And I just hope and pray that the new commissioners do not destruct everything we have accomplished in the last 4 years. That's all I ask.
Thank you very much, Connie. Vice Mayor Martinez.
I want to thank everybody that I worked with over these last 7 years. Staff, every time I got a complaint, I just made a call. They took care of it, or our city manager took care of it. So it was great having staff like that, and learning experience, I tell you. So different coming from $1 billion corporation to a city where the people are more close-knit. But it was fun, and I learned the experience. Like Connie said, we learned something every day and still learning. So thank all you guys. Gonna miss you. But I'll still come around to bother you.
All right. Thank you very much, Tony. Oh. Told myself that I wouldn't get emotional. All right. I could literally speak for a week and not cover everything that we all went through over the last 4 years. Let me man up here.
You want me to come give you a hug, take your mind off of it?
Yep, give me a good jaw jack. You know, this is a really interesting position to serve in. You know, you're constantly put into predicaments that you never experience in private sector, and that you just never realize as a general citizen how much goes into running a city. How every single personnel, every department, every director that we have is intricately important in running what we all take for granted on a day-to-day basis. Before I became a commissioner, you know, I knew that the water didn't magically appear in my faucets at home, but I never thought about everything that goes into that process of delivering clean and drinkable water, that goes into the process of making sure that our solid waste is taken care of so that we have a clean and productive city. All of the things that go into law enforcement, of keeping our community safe and thriving and moving forward in a positive direction. You know, I think the main thing that has changed in me over the last 4 years is the perspective that I view our community and city. And I'm so sorry about my voice. But before you serve on this panel, it's very easy to criticize all of the actions that the governing body takes. It's very easy to sit on the outside and to look at the city and scrutinize against all of the actions that they make and say that they don't manage our money properly and that, you know, they should be doing this instead of this. But in reality, unless you've ever sat on this side of the table or until you do, you don't understand the gravity of all of the moving components that go into making this machine run as well as it does. In the last 4 years, I got to experience some very extremes ups and downs of being a commissioner. Had the pleasure of serving with one of the most difficult personalities I've ever met in my life in Commissioner Carlisle while we had the pleasure of serving with him. Got to meet multitudes of people in this community that I would have never had the opportunity to be able to know. It really teaches you to empathize with every walk of life because the people that represent our organization act as a conduit between the general public and the organization that we're trusting to keep all of us safe and to keep us moving forward. Chief Cutcha, man, it has been a wonderful experience getting to see your rise in the city, from having you as my neighbor before you ever even worked with the police department, before I was ever a commissioner, to watching you become a diligent police officer trying to improve the department, to getting to see you run it, has been a wonderful journey. And I am very grateful we have you. And I feel very safe with my family here, with you in charge of that PD. Chief Kelly, and I guarantee you're gonna get heckled for this because I've been saying it for years, the fire department has been, in my opinion, the shining light of the city when it comes to an individual department. In the 4 years that I've served this community, I've never had a single complaint about the fire department in any way, shape, or form. Everybody in Liberal thinks the world of you guys and the job that you provide for us and the safety that you provide for us. That takes a lot of hard work, and you run the tightest ship in the city. So that's where you're going to get some crap from your fellow department heads. But Chief Kelly, you truly shine as an example of what everyone should aspire to be inside this organization. Cal, man, we had an incredible journey together. I still remember the night that we fired Mark Hall in our first meeting, sitting behind this table, and were able to bring you in, you know, with the expectation that we would only serve with you a couple meetings, and 4 years later, you managed to make through it all. And I have the utmost respect for you, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Lynn, you're the first and only lawyer I've ever met that has morals and ethics, and you're a pinnacle of both. You completely broke the mold for me of what I ever thought an attorney could be, and we are truly blessed to have you representing us. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Taylor.
Absolutely. Sorry about the voice once again. Alicia, oh, many don't understand all the roles that go into being a city clerk. It's easily one of the most difficult positions in any municipal government or any county level government. And I absolutely applaud your efforts over the last 4 years. If I had to say who I thought the two employees of the city, outside of the obvious ones that I thought never had an opportunity to get a break, never experienced a true vacation, and have no idea what being off from work is like, it would most definitely be you and Brad Beer. You guys take on an exponential amount of above and beyond work, and our community's a lot better off for it. So thank you very much for the job that you guys provide. Chris, I have no idea how you and Hay Rice and Associates are able to continually keep the city's budget balanced. But I've always said that you guys are magicians and can do the most creative things with numbers. And we are very fortunate that over the last 15 plus years that we've had you to guide our city in a positive financial direction and be able to help us work out of very difficult predicaments when they arise. So thank you very much for the job that you provide. I could keep going on and on and on, but I've already spoke long enough. There isn't a single employee that works for this organization that is undervalued. Every single one of you that calls the City of Liberal your employer is vital to us as a community. We respect you and appreciate the work that you do. And of course, just from looking over, I can't leave Tim out. Being in IT myself, Tim, you run an amazing IT department here. And I thought when I was elected as a commissioner that your department would be the number one that I would probably scrutinize against, being in IT myself. But instead, I aspire to be in IT like you, and it's been a pleasure and an honor working with you outside of the city. So I look forward to continuing that, and we'll finally be able to fraternize together outside of the city as an organization now that I'm not sitting on this side of the table. To the future commissions that will serve, not only the next one, but all of the future commissions. You are going to be put in a lot of predicaments that are going to require you to make difficult decisions, to be ethical and remain moral in all situations. Not only to benefit the city as an organization, but to benefit yourselves and this community, to keep us growing in a positive direction. The number one thing that I've said since day one is it's not difficult to be ethic or to have good ethics, and it's not difficult to be honest. It's much more difficult to manage and maintain lies than it is to tell the truth, because then you only have to remember one version of a story, and that is the truth. And I'm very excited to see your guys' success on this commission, because your success is our success as people that call this place home. Now, I will say, as a warning to all future commissions, I was already enough of a smartass before I ever served on this side of the table. And now that I am very well informed about how municipal governments work, fear the day that I am ever incited to stand on that side of the podium and have to go toe-to-toe with any elected official on something that involves our beautiful community. I hope that that day never comes, and you guys have my utmost support. If there's anything that I can do past my tenure in January, once I'm ejected from office, to assist the City of Liberal as an organization, that goes to all of the employees and commission. I will always make myself available to help you guys out in any way that I can. That being said, to the future commission, the city staff, and the City of Liberal, and all of the citizens within, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the support, all the prayers, all of the kind comments, all of the harsh criticisms, all of the people that criticized everything that I did. You only proved to make me better and make me work more diligently to make sure that I can be the best that I can be for all of you. To everyone, good luck, Godspeed, and let's go, Brandon. To finish out this meeting, I'll call for the approval of the vouchers.
Make a motion, we approve the vouchers for $1,984,206.03.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Linnenbroker with a second by Commissioner Segrist to approve the vouchers in the amount of $1,984,206.03. Is there any more discussion on the topic? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting is adjourned.